Hello, this is Mary Lou Foster. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Northeast Texas. I live in Sulphur Springs. So glad you could join me today. I'm actually videoing this on a Thursday. It is a balmy, well, this morning it was 14 degrees outside, and we don't get temperatures that low as a rule. So everything is frozen over, but it's warmed up. The sun is shining. It's about 30 degrees now. I think maybe winter. That might be the last blast. Who knows? But we survived. It's not that bad. So today I am coming to you with a card that I have made with the Bloom Impressions Designer Series paper. This paper is free with a $60 order until next Friday, February the 28th at midnight. We are in the time that we call Sale-a-bration, and for 2 months, January and February of the year, you are rewarded for your orders. The minimum order to earn a reward this year is $60, and this 6x6 12 by 12 paper is one of your options, and it is flowers, especially on one side. The flowers are colorful, and keep in mind it's 12 by 12 paper. This is just 2 by 2 squares showing you the front and the back of each of the sheets of paper included. You get 12 sheets, 2 of 6 designs. So the card that I want to make today uses 3 of the coordinating colors. As you can see, there is quite a list of colors that coordinate with this paper. This is Blueberry Bushel that I have used as my display board, just to show you. It doesn't matter even if there's no Blueberry Bushel in the particular piece of paper that you've chosen. Look how pretty that coordinates. And even the purpley, which one is this? Blackberry Bliss. Excuse me. And then we have the Shy Shamrock. That's a hard word to say, Shy Shamrock. So let me show you the card. I used the mixed labels for my sentiment and my die cutting for this card. And my card today, I'm going to kind of do a little bit different design. I had an inspiration, and I'm like, let's see if that will work. I don't think I am going to do the banner. I wanted to do the banner to use the dies because, let me turn that ticker off because that can get pretty distracting. These dies are part of the mixed media suite, and it's an online offering, a whole suite of products, 2 stamp sets, 2 sets of dies, its own paper, sets of embellishments. So I have chosen Azure Afternoon for my card base, and this is actually my own design because I wanted to use the paper, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? And then the Shy Shamrock, because I looked at the list of coordinating colors. I'm like, all right, well, they've done most of the work. And then the piece of designer series paper. And what I like about the Shy Shamrock, look how it brings out the leaves. And then the Blueberry Bushel just makes those flowers pop. So I will have the cutting instructions on my blog. I will put a link to my blog in the description. So if you're interested in knowing more about this card, the list of supplies will also be on there. And if you want this paper, don't wait. Because the way Sale-a-bration works, it's while supply lasts. So even though we say Sale-a-bration goes until February the 28th, it's quite possible if this paper sells out before then, it won't be available until February the 28th. So it's the pretty standard layers with a little bit of a border. That's just what I like. So that's what I do a lot. All right. I want to stamp my sentiment. I have already die cut out of Daffodil Delight using one of the dies, and I put those away so it's not right here within reach. And I'm going to use this black ink. I could use the Azure Afternoon, and it would probably show up really pretty, but I think black sometimes it's easier to read. And here was what I was thinking. So instead of using the banner, I'm like, what if I cut a second one of the labels, and I'm going to cut it in half from point to point. I think there's a way to put it in your dies to make them larger. I just didn't take the time to try to figure that out. But I just did a class lately, and this was a tip that instructor used, just to cut the second one. Cut your bottom piece apart and use it then. Let me get it off of here so you can see what I'm doing. Use it as the mat, and you can just eye it up. What I like about that, look at that cute little decorative edge that gets cut out at the same time. And I'm going to put my adhesive on the back of the yellow instead of trying to figure out, whoops, how about if we do it this direction? And just eyeing it up. I need to pull it down a little bit. So yes, it's open right there. But you know what? I don't think that's going to be a really bad thing. I could still try. Ooh. Yeah, that would still work. How about if we stamp that in the Azure Afternoon? That's what we did in class. We made this card in class. I have the, and then I'll have to die cut it. I don't like trying to stamp after you die cut. I think there's a margin of error, ERROR error, on the side of caution that plays in. So I've got my die right here. I can line that up while you're looking. Why is it not? Must be a right and wrong side. There sure is. I thought it was the same going either direction, but I just learned something. And use a piece of my pretty worn out washi tape, but I want it to be not too sticky. I'm going to put a second piece. I want to hold that little banner in place. And I think I will just bring that little die cutting machine over today and die cut it right here under your nose. It should go through easily. Let's move that out. Oh, I set it on the inky. Run it right through. This is the mini Stampin' Cut and Boss machine. If you don't own it, it's really nice for these small dies like this. This whole package of dies, in fact, I do have the magnet sheet right here, are all smaller, and will go through that mini machine perfectly. This is the die that we're using. Look at the shape of that one. I love it probably has a name. It kind of looks sort of Victorian-like to me. It's probably got a name. Cameo, that's what it looks like. And this makes what looks like a picket fence or some such thing, and you get one leaf. So it's kind of a simple little set. And now we can decide if we want to put that on. I don't think I want to put this on dimensionals because I just want to mount it on the white label. And I may need a different adhesive. So I'm just eyeing up where these center points right here are. Now let's put dimensionals on the back. And what I'll do to make sure it stays stuck, see how I'm putting it half on the Azure Afternoon and half on the white label. That will hold them together better. And it's a little bump there where it's a little bit taller on one side than the other, just because it's 2 layers of cardstock. All right, so whenever you are placing your order, be sure and look for the other options with your $60 order. This is not your only option. We have a terrific toadstool 6x6 paper that you can choose. We have, if you spend $120, there is a stamp set and set of dies that you can choose. They've added some other items that are actually catalog items, some stamps, some dies, a set of alphabet dies, but don't wait because they are low inventory. And if you need catalogs, if you'll sign up for my email list, that is the best way to know what all is happening. I cut the white sheet out, the basic white, out of the perennial postage dies, and I'm using a piece of the designer series paper on the inside because don't hoard your paper, use it. I'm also going to line the flap of the envelope with some designer series, one of the coordinating pieces. Kind of sets the tone for your recipient when they see that pretty layer on the outside. So this card is really pretty easy. Okay, so I have used the Sunny Day iridescent dies, dots, not dies, on, let me see here. I had to get a different package because I tore the original one. This one is a little crunchy. And the hard part of this is choosing which color. I think I'm going to do I believe that's Petunia Pop. And there are 2 sizes. So I'm going to do a big one and a little one. Do you sometimes have more of one size than the other one left? I know I do. I'm like, oh, I don't use enough. So I put a large and 2 smaller. And that, my friends, on this card I did the 3 in the corner but none at the top. I really think I like that better. That kind of makes it pop just a little bit. Here's our inside. Let me show you the trick for lining the envelope flap. You only need a piece about 2.5 by 6. So let's see, what are we going to use? I could just use the green, or I can keep looking. Ooh, that's the piece I used on the inside. So let's cut me, I'm going to cut me a 6-inch strip. Oops. It's really easy to do this. People sometimes are a little, I like to just use my Stampin' Seal. I think I'll use the Seal Plus. And I start right next to the fold. I don't know if you can see exactly. The closer you can get to it, some people like to use liquid glue, and that's fine. Just don't get too juicy with it. Don't go, too close to the edge. It needs to be close to the edge, but not running off the edge. And then there's a little bit of a curve on this side, and I don't usually do it in one run. I break it up. Then when I'm ready to put this on, I eye up where that fold is, and I bump it right up next to it. Because when it folds down, you don't want to have gone too high. You want that to be exactly even with it. Now you're like, well, how's she going to make it the shape of the flap? Easy. Open up the flap. Get your scissors. I like to use my larger scissors. And these are just good old Fiskars sewing scissors. But listen, don't get your finger in them because you will lose a finger. You can use your paper snips, any crafting scissors, and I just follow along the very edge of the envelope flap, just like that. And I have decorated my flap. I have the pretty card. I have decorated the inside. I can put whatever sentiment. You're pretty wonderful could be anything. Birthday, thank you, thinking of you. So don't forget now that package of paper is free until February 28th with your $60 order. And you can order $180 and get 3 different things. I know I placed some large orders, so I got more than one free thing. If you want to shop with me, maryloufoster.stampingup.net. It's very easy. That takes you straight to my Stamping Up online store. I think the first page you get, you may have to click on a button called Shop to actually see things, but there will be one for Sale-a-bration, so you can check out other things that are being offered. So that was all I had. I just wanted to show you this card, remind you that Sale-a-bration is going to be ending. Don't wait if there's something that you want. I know sometimes I kind of hang back and go, well, let's see if it's going to be available. And boom, it's gone. And I'm like, oh, well, I really wanted that. Don't be that one. Go ahead and shop and get it bought. So thank you for your time. If you have any questions, I was talking about my email list. I will put the link in the comments also, or in the description, to how to sign up for that. I am announcing a new crafting with me that will come out Monday. So go ahead and get signed up. I'm not going to tell you any more than that. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.